Okay.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of David E. Taylor Full Frontal Exposure 2.0, where everybody's opinion is a lie. And I already have our special guest on the other line, and let's go ahead and just fire right on into it. Special guest, tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got involved with
Well,
David, and take it from there.
well, I am actually, well, first of all, thank you for having me on your live stream. It's been a great privilege to have you take me over here. I am Metal Force 999. And if you don't know me, I've been the guy who's been making comments, interacting with the rest of you in the comment section. And I've also been the guy who used to be a donor to David E. Taylor's Krispy Kreme Donut Ministry. Yes. And I'd like to start out with how I first began with joining in with David E. Taylor's little scam in the first place. Actually, I was brought in, I think way back in 2013. You see, my friend and I were basically Christians, and basically he introduced me to David E. Taylor from the very beginning. Now, I did not know much about him, but he practically was telling me how he's building, trying to build a 10,000 man army. This was way back. And I was kind of interested to see what was going on. And from what basically happened, I watched a YouTube video about those Thursday night army calls. And he was basically, having that strong, austere voice. He sounded charismatic. And basically, that's the first time I've heard any preacher saying anything about, saying or preaching anything in such a strong, charismatic way. So from what I thought back then, I thought he was like a real Christian trying to, promote the gospel, trying to bring, Christianity back to America, basically, from what he was promoting. And then, when I saw his book Face to Face, I bought it and I read it and I was like, okay, he has a relationship with Jesus on that front. And I was interested, and it kind of did build a hunger and a spiritual desire to see Jesus. But as the years went by, I guess you can say, I began to grow as a Christian. But my giving towards David has actually started way back in 2014 when I first got my first job at a sandwich store. And basically, I pretty much, even from the very beginning, I gave a lot because I was that enthusiastic, and I wasn't thinking that much either. It was just, I guess you can say it was just a zeal that I had for God, and I still believe that David E. Taylor was, that person who was leading the 10,000 man army. And it came to the point where I received a call from one of the one of the ministry guys from the call center, inviting me to go to One Night with the King back in 2015. I didn't go because I was more busy with going to my institution. I was in the middle of studying of software development, so I was trying my best to get up good grades and all that stuff. But when time further progressed, I began to figure out that the school that I went to actually managed to scam me because they were doing disingenuous things with their students. So I got very devastated. I actually left at April, and I wrote to the Department of Education complaining about them, and they eventually got shut down by later 2016 or something like that. But that was when it gave me enough time to, I guess, focus. And I believe I managed to convince my friend, who was also a Christian, was to go to their crusade against cancer. So we basically made that trip. It was a road trip all the way from where I live in Northern Virginia all the way to Taylor, Michigan, and we were like at a hotel and everything. So, and when we went there, we were welcomed, and the staff members seemed to be pretty friendly with us. It's just that I guess you can say it's just that something, I guess, like kind of felt off-putting. I don't know if it was just the people or just a little feeling, but I guess you can say I ignored that. And actually after the crusade, we basically went through the deposition that was released. Now, I'll be dead honest, I did not see much of the deposition, but David managed to convince my friend and I not to look at that. You know, it was sliced and diced, even though that's not true. It was just, the full 4 to 6 hour just buckle of nonsense that David was pulling off. I did not see that. I only saw like a video that had only 20 minutes of content, but it still made David look bad regardless. So that's just how it went. And that's when, I guess you can say, that's when I can that's when you can say that my strife with the family kind of began, because at the month of May of 2017, right? That was the month where it all began, where one of the members was, I believe it was Michelle, and yes, I believe it was Michelle. She was basically trying to encourage me to give away pretty much all the money I saved. And and what I did was kind of dumb, because I got caught. Like my mother basically kind of found out that like I was going to give all this money to the ministry, and she pretty much was not having it, and rightfully so. But at the time I was believing that David was, putting my money into good work, doing charity work, and doing godly things. So I was pretty, I guess you can say, I was pretty devastated to, like, I guess you can say, suffer persecution. And basically what David was preaching is that, was preaching out of scripture, saying, like, if you don't hate your mother or father, your siblings, and your sons and daughters, like, that you're not worthy of me, basically. I don't remember the entire scriptures, but he basically was trying to get us to love Jesus more, basically trying to make our love for Jesus make our love for our parents look like hate, basically. So that's exactly what he's trying to preach. And I understood that it was in the scriptures, and I was basically trying to make a sense of all this. And I guess you can say that he managed to get me even more zealous. My friend and I also had issues with my friend also had issues with their parents. I won't talk about him much, because he still believes, even though I'm beginning to see some cracks. He's still not convinced, and that's all that there is to it right now. What else? So over the years, I still, kind of gave a good portion of my hard-earned paycheck to David, basically, still hoping that he would do good, and he would be doing, like, these trips to Israel, trips to these trips to other countries, and basically preach the gospel of, like, where the saints were, and how they died for the gospel, and how good it was for them to, fight the good fight. And I'll admit, he got me there. He basically used the truth and used it for his own advantage. And then by the time it was 2019, I managed to convince my friend again to go back to the 2019 Crusade Against Cancer. Now, that was a little, now on that event, it was a little off, because what David did is that he was doing he was selling the idea where he can teach you how to walk in the supernatural, where he can make you do all the stuff that Elijah did, what Moses did. He basically was able to magic convince us that like if we study and go through the 20-year process, that we'll be able to manipulate the power of the wind, part the waters like Moses did, and call fire from heaven, or have the elements of fire, like being able to like teleport, being able to like turn invisible, all that stuff that you see in the superhero movies and stuff like that and beyond. So honestly, it was, like I said, it caught our surprise. And since my friend and I were kind of, we're very spiritual, we were interested to see what David was talking about, and I guess you can say that at this time, things were slightly different inside the building, where it used to be a men's and a women's room next to each other, but now the men's room became also the women's room, and all the men have to be outside using the porta potties or something like that. And then one of the girls kept touching my shoulder whenever she walked past by me, or walked past by me from behind. So I don't know if that was some kind of seduction tactic, and I don't know what it was to this day, but it got my attention. And and basically, David was like, I guess, talking his butt off again at the last day of the Crusade Against Cancer of 2019. It was like when everybody was having like a ball. A ball where it was like celebrating David E. Taylor's birthday, and we and you know what, the cake was kind of good because everybody waited in line. I actually did remember that Michelle stood in front of me and I was standing behind her. Basically, I was second in line for that cake. So I did say hi to Michelle, and she was, I guess she was looking pretty mellow. She was like, hello. But but then like an old lady was basically talking about how the cakes, or the fruit cakes in heaven, were much bigger, and I was like, okay, that sounds pretty neat. But when we got back to our seats, my friend, his mother, and I just ended up eating, and the food was kind of mid-tier, so it wasn't bad, but it wasn't prestigious. That's just how it is. But the suspicion began to stir up before the Crusade Against Cancer of 2019, because David E. Taylor released a commercial where we're saying that was promoting David E. Taylor to be like the 2,000-year face-to-face prophet, and it's like, and it kind of bothered me a little bit because I wasn't so sure about it. It was basically saying that, like, the timeline between Adam from Moses was 2,000 years, and then the time frame between Moses to Jesus was 2,000, and then Jesus to David E. Taylor. And I'm not joking about that. That is actually a thing. So when I heard that, I began to develop a lot of question marks in my head. And then I actually looked into the Bible, and basically the gap between, Adam and Moses was like much longer than 2,000 years. And Jesus, from Moses to Jesus, to be shorter than 2,000 years. So basically, this dude, this dude didn't even know the time frame, which kind of put me off a little bit. But due to the brainwashing, I guess you can say I let it go. And but moving forward to 2021, that was when they began to hound me for cash, because And that was the time where I believe where the IRS finally took away their tax exempt status. That's where it all began. That's where my trust began to crack with David. And what he kept on what his kept on doing is having his members of the staff call me to basically to ask me for more cash. They would start off saying like, oh, God has blessed you very much, like, you have like they'll either say that you have some kind of like inner gift that's unique, or that's or you're saying, or basically saying that, oh, you have a hindrance in your spirit, or the enemy's trying to attack you and exploit you, or basically a lot of spiritual sayings, spiritual sermons. And the last thing you want is to give any members of his own staff information. Because if members of the staff who are talking to you on the phone are asking you about what should we pray for on your behalf, my piece of advice is basically hang up the phone. Do not give David E. Taylor or members of his staff any information, because they will write it down and then they will use that to milk you of every penny you have. If you were a cow, dude, they would basically not only take all the milk, but they would take out all the blood and pretty much take whatever fluids that's left. It's like, I don't know, it's just far beyond a freaking vampire at this point. And I'm not joking. So that's just how it is. So, and that was the time where I was ambitious to be rich. And that was the time where I was trying to like invest heavily in crypto. So when I was like, I guess early 2021, they pretty much asked me to give away like a lot of what I was making in crypto, and I gave it away, but I was mad. But I still was hoping that it would be great for the kingdom. And since it was during the time of the pandemic and David E. Taylor really wanted his stage to be set up, I did what I could to help, because I was believing that David E. Taylor would get the job done, get the movie set done, purchase and buy all those trucks. And since David E. Taylor was also saying, that like paying money to be on TV on the Word Network and everything is expensive, I was understanding of it and I was considerate. So knowing that, he probably used that information, or he used the situation he was in to rake in more money from me. And that's exactly what he did. And whenever I was about to, like, I guess, make a good profile on my crypto stats, they basically come back calling me to make me give it all away. Now, whether they knew what they were doing or not, that doesn't matter. The fact is that they were trying to just basically take as much as they could to, I guess, do what they do.
So let me get this straight. They were also trying to milk whatever crypto you had from you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and a piece of advice: if you give to David in crypto, you're screwed. You're not going to get that back. You're not going to get that back. Even what I did, however, is that I managed to basically like take my money out of the crypto and give it via PayPal, like that. So I was kind of smart to do that, but at the same time, like, I just missed so many opportunities to be rich. But I did, however, profit off from the Shiba Inu. Now, I'm going to be a little bit off subject, but Shiba Inu is pretty much a worthless cryptocurrency. And what happened is that I managed to make a big breakthrough, and I was making like 15 to 17K with just that huge spike that went on.
Yep.
Late in 2021.
Yep, it happens.
And I was like, yeah, it happens. That was my breakthrough. That was a great breakthrough. And then David's little minions just called me and just, oh, you must give it all away. And then I guess you're saying that the reasoning is that, God is trusting you with great fortune, like if you give this away, God will give you much more than that. And pretty much the one person who kept on calling me, the person that I kept on talking to the majority of the time, and I will call him out, his name is Alondre Thomas. Yeah, that's right. I called you up. You remember the conversations we had. And basically you did a fine job screwing me over, but those days are gone. So that's all I gotta say. What happened is that after I gave away all my crypto, dude, I was pretty much on the brink of like giving up on like trying to make money for the crypto, but I still tried it anyways. Now moving towards 2022, this is where my patience is beginning to dwindle. So even it was the time where I did manage to get a job promotion. I went from part-time to full-time to where I work, and I was beginning to make more money. And since I was beginning to make more money, this was the time where they were literally asking me to give in the thousands that I was not even able to give sometimes. So this was almost at a breaking point. I was at my breaking point because not only was my new job more physically demanding, but I also had to endure the weather conditions as well, and almost getting run over by customers who don't know how to drive. So my patience begins to dwindle as I physically work my butt off just to give like 50 plus % of my paycheck at a monthly basis to this David guy, to this little fat gremlin that keeps on just gobbling up all those donuts from my money. So pretty much I began to give out more of a bad attitude to Alondre, but not entirely, subtly. And basically, Alondre did call me on a FaceTime, and he basically showed me the mansion down in Tampa, Florida. And that's not a joke. He showed me the interior, and he showed me practically everything. Not everything, but pretty much what you saw in the Vallatio mansion. That's what happened. He basically showed me pretty much almost everything. And when that happened, I was beginning to question, because a lot of say, oh, this is going to be, this is going to be like, we're going to be like learning in this campus for the harvest thing, or this university that David E. Taylor is opening up. And then I just questioned him, like, where are the dorms? Like the mansion, from what I was seeing, seemed to be the school, but where are the dorms? There's supposed to be a dormitory for the men and a dormitory for the women. Where are they? So this is where my suspicion began to flare up a bit. Not only that, but he was also introducing the ancient writings teaching, and he was basically like promoting the gospel of Nicodemus. And remember the part where David E. Taylor calls himself the face-to-face prophet that comes every 2,000 years? This is the part where when I read the gospel of Nicodemus that David E. Taylor himself was promoting, and basically the time frame between, and then the gospel of Nicodemus was basically saying that the time frame between Adam to Moses was 3,090 years, and the time frame between Moses to Jesus is 1,410 years. So not only did David E. Taylor promote a extra book of the gospel that contradicted his 2,000-year theory, but he also promoted other ancient writings that contradict pretty much other ancient writings that he was introducing. So this was already sparring red flags. I also, and later on in the year 2022, around September to December, I began really starting to asking questions like, how many people are supporting you? And from what Alondre told me is oh, we got millions and millions of followers. And I guess you can say the tone of his voice sounded incredibly disingenuous. So I even looked up, I found a website that pretty much shows all of David E. Taylor's web traffic. And basically, and from the last time I seen it, it was like barely like over 100K. So something wasn't adding up to me. And then basically I just decided not to watch One Night with a King, and I was just pissed. And basically I began to start investigating David E. Taylor for myself. And then I found the video that you uploaded, Alex. The video where it says the mansions owned by David E. Taylor or something like that. David E. Taylor's residential centers. And then I saw the part where you were just like pretty much showing off all the mansions and the information where, you know, where Kingdom of God Global Church, his name is pretty much all over it. So not only that, but every January and February, I go to the mail to specifically collect the mail to hide from my family the amount of money I've given to David. So when I basically saw the amount of money I've gave to David and seeing the mansions, I was pissed. I was really pissed. I was at the point where I could just basically, I don't know, tear the house down with my bare hands. So that's pretty much how I felt. Ever since then, I follow your channel. And when I felt like I decided to call in before you stopped using StreamYard, I did. So that's how it was.
And what have you done up to this point? We've talked offline. You filed fraud, and you've gotten money back. Will you tell the group? Will you tell the community? Tell the world what you've done to this point, right? To pull David's card on the fraud. Explain the process on that, will you?
Oh, yeah. So my advice for every single one of you watching this very moment, and my advice is to also for those of you who are watching, you know, in the future, who are even thinking about joining David E. Taylor or even following or supporting him financially, don't do it. You're wasting your money on this dude. You're going to get nothing out of it. You know, I don't even think any of these staff members are even going to pray for your breakthrough or anything like that. Honestly, that's, you know, whatever prayer you have, that's between you and God. And if you want fellow brothers of Christ to basically pray for you, just make sure that they have good intentions to do it. Don't reveal your personal problems to like people who you don't know or don't trust, especially the ones that slander or just talk behind people's backs. You know, that is the best option you do. That you will end up doing the least amount of work, having to undo the damage you cost yourself to do, basically. That's what pretty much David thrives on. But if you have given to David, there are ways to get it back. There are ways to make at least an attempt to make your money back. So the first attempt is to contact your bank. Contact your bank and ask them to show you the documentations of your transactions from the furthest year down. So let's say if Bank of America is your bank, you go over there and then you ask them for the documents from let's say 2016, 2015. That's how far they are willing to keep those transactions before it goes away forever. Look through it all the way up to the recent year and basically highlight and dispute every single transaction that you've given to David E. Taylor's ministries. So Joshua Mina Ministries International, Kingdom of God Global Church, dispute all of it and basically let your bankers know that this guy is a scam and, you know, that the IRS has pretty much taken away his tax-exempt status with Joshua Mina Ministries. You show them the mansions, you show them pretty much everything. If make sure you keep those transactions between you and your bank, and then you send them to the third party platforms that you use, whether if it's PayPal, Cash App, Zelle. But I have no solution for the crypto part because that crypto wallet doesn't work all the time, so it's gonna be impossible to get it back. But what I will say is that just continue fighting. If David E. Taylor's little minions from the call center ended up making you take loans from your credit card, like Apple or any other type of credit card, call them and tell them the situation. Call your credit card number and dispute the transactions with David. That's all you really need to do, because in the middle of 2022, yes, they managed to make me get an Apple card, and they made me max that out in one day. And ever since then, it took me a long time to even pay off, I'd say maybe a third of it, just for them to call me again to make me give it all away, so I have to start over again. It really breaks your soul when you have to work really hard just for them to take 50 to 90% of your earnings, or even just 100% if you're that zealous. But like I said, also if you're thinking about joining David E. Taylor, take a step back and go through every teaching he does and make sure it goes well in place. If you see David E. Taylor preaching something that kind of contradicts what the Bible says, or if he's introducing these ancient writings that is contradicting the narrative, or basically just doesn't add up due to small changes in the story or even major changes, just throw off a red flag and basically don't do anything. Don't give him anything, basically. If you're not able to get any of your money back from the banks or from anybody, I suggest you file fraud report against them to the IRS. Not just the 13909 form, but the 211 form that basically rewards you for busting scammers like David.
Yep, there's a reward program with the IRS. There is. I'm not gonna. I urge anybody that's doing it to go ahead and send in a reward. I'm not going to. I don't want a reward. I just want the IRS to do their job.
Yeah, anybody who's been scammed by David, I suggest you form that 211 form, because if the banks are not going to be able to give any of your money back, that form will come in handy, because trust me, the wheels are in motion against David, and he's going to be going down. So
I think
just letting you all know by that.
I think so too. We know the kind of shit that David's doing. They don't fall on civil crimes.
No.
They're not civil crimes.
Not really.
No, not really at all. Not really at all.
No, and honestly, David is vulnerable. He's vulnerable at this point.
I think so.
There's no. Let's see. Movie prop rentals is coming after him. You got the IRS.
Yeah.
Trying to look into David, and now we have people exposing him. Cliff did a really hard blow on David when he exposed him weeks ago.
Absolutely. That was probably the biggest blow anybody could have dealt to David at this point. An eyewitness with that type of information.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, but what you're doing too, Trip 9, dude, this is huge. This is huge. No matter how little or how big the money was, you put David on the watch list, dude, with Apple Pay, bro. That's real shit.
That is beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, bro. And honestly, I'm glad that I made this David's problem because I'm just gonna continue to make it worse.
You should.
I really hope. Yeah, we're gonna make it worse.
Yeah, and the art of war. What Sun Tzu always says: hey, the best way to fight a fight is what's the best way, right? Not taking it to the battlefield, but hey, let's solve this by like some other means, right? Let's do
Yeah.
like some financial espionage type deal, right? Let's look into his finances. Let's put his finances on blast. Let people know how shitty of a financier David is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ascension of Yehuda says David is extremely vulnerable now. I think you and Ascension are right on Trip Nine. Vulnerable.
Good. Good. And to make it worse for David, I hope you were listening to this. I've already filed a complaint against you to the Department of Education. They don't play around.
No,
No, they don't.
no, no, they don't. No, they don't. You're right, and that's a good point that you bring up. What do you think about the hotel they bought, calling it a campus Trip Nine? What do you think about
Well, I
that?
mean, well, David E. Taylor did say it's accredited, so he should not be worried about it, right?
Yeah,
He should not be. He should not be worried. I mean, wink, wink. He should not be worried since he himself said it's an accredited campus. So, but you know what? But you know what? If we ever see the FBI just shut down David's campus, that would be a glorious thing to see.
it really would. I agree. I agree. To see like a no knock warrant type deal go down, that would that would be the ultimate, right? Because again, I know David's not toting on civil crimes here, man. If David goes down, it's gonna be the federal fucking marshals knocking on his goddamn door, not the fucking
Oh,
sheriff.
oh,
That's the
it's gonna
thing.
be
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's not good. Hey, Billy Martin, or we got Billy in here. Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. We got Trip Nine on the phone, Metal Force 999, and he's telling us his story of how David basically, fucking scratched his way into his life and drained his bank account, man. Would you consider it predatory practice?
Yes, he is a financial predator and a spiritual predator, basically. Members of his staff will use every little information that you will give him to his advantage against you. So if you're trying to ask his members of staff to pray for you for let's say for a new house, a new car, or oh, my brother or sister or significant other is sick or injured and all that stuff, they'll use it against you. They will. They'll basically say, oh, you have to give this much, and we will pray for you. And basically, David and his little gremlins will deny it, but it's true. Uh, and actually, like my last conversation with Alondre Thomas, he was trying to, like, I guess, cheer me up when he was like when he was basically when they were opening the campus for the first time, and they were like, like, what, like, God's gonna give you double for your trouble. You know, just remember that, like, that God's got your back and stuff. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, sure, dude, whatever. Like, you just want my money, basically. I think I forgot to mention that he even called me to, like, give $2,000 just for David's, like, little resort in Israel. Like, are you freaking kidding me? I think it was either for Father's Day or for his birthday or something, but it was like I was shaking my head, already annoyed.
What? So did they? Can I ask you something? Did they ever, when they asked, right? When they asked for your donation, right? Did they ever
Yeah,
ask for, say, your tithe and then something extra?
they'll basically ask you for a tithe. Basically, that's what they'll say. They'll basically say, "Oh, you need to sow this much into this ministry. You need to sow on good ground. And here's the thing. And in my time with these guys from, I believe it started, I think 2020, 2021. But basically, David has been doing these secret recordings saying, like, "Hello, Eric. How are you, Eric?"
Mm-hmm.
And basically, like, he was like saying stuff like, you need to put the past behind you, for greater blessings. And then, like, another message was like about like just whatever spiritual process he wanted me to go through. And and yeah, like, and after like the call center guy just like finishes the recording. He was like, "Oh, how was that message, brother?" I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, it was great." I say it was great, like from my voice, but in my head, I'm like, "Dude, like, just stop, you know, stop," because this was the part. It was the part when he was in Shutaway and doing whatever dirty business he was doing without my knowledge. So yeah, um, yeah. He was also like trying to basically get me to join. Actually, Alondre and David's son Joshua Taylor was trying to get me to join up with them to join and be a part of the ministry, be part of the staff, because they did it in such a slimy, subtle way, where it's like, oh, David E. Taylor had a vision of you of being a part of this ministry. It's going to be glorious. And this was like, and since they do heavily on prophecy, this kind of was like rubbing me off the wrong way.
Yeah.
Due to the fact where I was like, and I was questioning myself, like, do I really like? Is God really want me to join these guys' ministry? It's like, dang, like, really?
Okay.
And basically, yeah, and basically, like, and basically, they subtly, but they did not go hard on trying to make me join the ministry, but they were trying to like calmly and slyly trying to coerce me into joining the Campus for the Harvest. So basically, they were trying to make me their little phone cuck.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if any of you people watching just are thinking about like supporting David's ministry, they will, depending on how devoted you are, they will harass you a little bit in a slimy, subtle way to join their ministry and to leave just for you to be a slave. I'm not joking.
I think that's how Cliff even compared it one day. Like it's like a slave labor cult. I didn't want to say it. He was, you know, it really is. It's forced labor and human trafficking involves force, fraud, or coercion.
Yeah, and do you know what they said to me? Do you know what Joshua said to me? He basically said that, like, we want you to come and come to our camps for the harvest so you can learn certain subjects, for your destiny, and like for a couple of weeks to a month. And I'm like, and then when Cliff exposed David saying that the honeymoon will last a couple of weeks to a month, and then after that it's labor.
Yeah.
I began to put the pieces of the puzzle together and basically find out that they'll let me be comfortable on their little campus for the harvesting for a bit, and then when the time comes, they're just gonna lock me in and make me a slave. That's
Yep.
right. That's what I think they're gonna do.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely 100% correct. That's exactly what they would do.
Oh
As a
yeah,
matter of
and
fact,
David.
I know from surviving members that's exactly what they do.
Oh, beautiful. This confirms my suspicion. Wonderful. Now, David E. Taylor, you pissed off the wrong guy here, dude. Actually, you pissed off so many people that there's no place for you to run and hide, dude. And since you decided to rob everybody of their hard-earned money, we're going to make sure not only do we get it back, but we will make sure that we leash the feds on you, buddy. So you can play your little hide and seek games. You can play Enoch as much as you want, saying that, oh, I must develop the glory of the Lord in Shutaway so that I can shine like the sun when I come out. Like, I mean, go ahead and do so. It's all going to be in vain anyways. You really think you're like the smartest guy out here, but you're really not. The moment you decided to screw people's lives over from the very beginning is the moment you sealed your fate. So just remember that that you're going to reap a lot of pain.
I agree.
Yep, you will.
In Minecraft,
Oh,
not here on Earth,
in
but
Minecraft.
yeah,
Yeah, in Minecraft and Roblox, just not here on Earth, David. Just
yeah.
we're gonna find your account and we're just gonna ruin it. All your servers are gonna go away.
Yeah,
We're gonna
David,
grief you.
we're honestly, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna deplatform you. That's what we're gonna do. This group is gonna completely deplatform you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can't do that to me. I'm the apostle.
Like, hey, I'm the apostate David E. Taylor.
I'm the apostate David E. Taylor. So collectively over the years, if you don't mind us asking, what was the total amount that you think you gave collectively to David?
I will assume around 40 to 50K, dude.
Okay.
I am not joking about that. That is, dude, that could have gotten me a good car, and that could have pretty much got me other things that could have been useful. But since he decided to waste my time and screw me over, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get my money back. And when I do get my money back, I'm gonna shift my focus on protecting myself and other people from joining ministries like yours, David. So just make sure you stop screwing people over next time, David. You're already in serious hot water. You don't need to make it even hotter for yourself, man. You're boiling up like a pig.
I agree. Yeah, and Tony B, what Trip 9 was saying is the process he went through to dispute the charges, right? And what have you got back, if you don't mind me asking? Again, this is all discretionary, at your discretion.
Well, I mean, from my Apple Card, I got all my money back and even more because so basically I maxed out on my Apple Card at 2,700.
Okay.
And basically I managed to pay off like bits of like portions of it, trying to reclaim my credit score back.
Uh-huh.
And by the time I was disputing my claims while continuously trying to pay back Apple, I guess in a short amount of time, within like around a week, I managed to get not only my 2,700 back, but the money that I've also given to David at December, and also the money that I've used to pay for it. So it was like almost twice as much as what I had before.
Really? So it's like they kicked you back with interest almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing.
That's a victory, dude. And I was working on that day. It was a hot day. When I found out, that made my day much easier, dude.
Trip 9 texted me that day. He's all, look who's getting their fucking money back. It's like, yeah, dude. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, y'all.
It does, buddy. And honestly, dude, I will continue to fight to get my money back. I will.
And you should. And you know what? God's vengeance is real said, I'm happy for you, man. Being bold, yeah, getting back what the devil stole. Yep.
You know what? God's vengeance is real sounds very symbolic at this point.
It really does. It really does. Like, God's vengeance is real. It really does. Yeah, exactly. Jot G, hit it. You beat him with your head instead of physically, bro. That's what I mean about the art of war. Sun Tzu's brilliant, dude. Fucking brilliant fucking philosopher. Hey, man, you don't gotta fight him. No, dude, we'll give him a much bigger fight, dude. We'll get him a fight Yeah, we'll get him a fight that he cannot fucking win. And that's what I mean. We took it to him bureaucratically, and so did you, bro. You need to pat your fucking self on the back. I mean, honestly, you guys, give it up to fucking Trip 9 for what he did, because now he put David on the map with Apple Pay as a fucking scam. It's a double whammy here. He got his money back and he put David on the map.
A double victory. And it's going to keep on coming. So, like I said, I highly suggest to all of you, whoever has been taking out credit cards for David, for those of you who has been giving a lot for David, please complain to your bank, complain to the credit card companies that David made you borrow it, max out on, and just wham it on him, dude. Wham it. Like, I don't care how many emails or mails you get saying that they cannot fully honor or restore your money. Just keep on disputing until you win. And if the banks are going to be stubborn with you and say no, then basically I strongly suggest you fill out that 211 form, because that's going to come in handy when David gets taken down.
Damn. Billy says his wife is given 37,000.
Oh, God, no.
Your
wife.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, dude. Billy, I really hope your wife gets her money back. I really do.
We had a request first thing in the chat. Will you say, David, I'm your father?
David, I am your father.
Yeah, Lord Pender says this guy got a great voice for radio. Dead serious. Dude, somebody said like, dude, you should do voiceover projects, bro. No, for real. That's what I told him before we got on the chat. I was all, dude, you have the voice like Common, bro. And I was like, that's all you got to do is get on and talk.
Sweet.
Yeah, great voiceover, dude. You do. You could do awesome voiceover.
Sweet. Maybe I'll think. Yeah, I'll think about it. I might look into voice acting and to see what I'm gonna do. You know,
you really
I want to be able
bro.
to.
You really could.
I want to be able to be. I want to know how far I can go, my range in voice. You know, whether I can do high pitch, low pitch, or whatever. And then I'll try to, I guess, try to be flexible with it and see what's up.
Dude, you know who Ed Kemper was? You know who Ed Kemper is? Okay, he was known as the co-ed killer, right? He was killing co-eds up in Santa Cruz. Well, anyways, what he was an inmate, right? Well, and what he did was he would read books for the blind. That's what he did. He read books for the blind. Yeah. Random fact, but I'm just saying you could do all kinds of things with voiceovers, man. You really can.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I might consider it. I might do a voice thing.
Yeah, as a little side gig, dude, as a side hustle, man.
Yeah, side hustle.
Yeah, the homie DJ Sai says keep low, bro, keep it low. Yeah, the lower the better. Like the lower the deeper. Yeah, bro, for real.
Yeah, I'll keep it low. All right, I'll keep it low.
If there's something you could tell the followers in David's cult right now, looking at from the outside in as somebody who was donating to the cause, what's something you would want to get out to them? What's something you want to tell them?
My message to them is that if David E. Taylor has made you give out all your money and then make you join in just to work slave away like 15 to 20 hours a day to see nothing progress, dude, like get out. Just get out, please. Like the things that's going on is more important than what David's doing. All right, he's a big fat nothing burger at this point. He's always been a big fat nothing burger. Like he claims that he's able to do these super powerful things, but he doesn't. And every person who got judged are still alive. Like basically, they're still alive. They're still kicking. The judge did not get deposed. And I'm sure the stories that David said about a person trying to speak evil of him got his head cut off. I think David was telling a story at one of the crusades, or whether, I don't know if it was one of the crusades or One Night with a King, but he was basically saying that, that a pastor was talking to one of the people he has supernaturally healed, saying that David has taken advantage of him. And then at the end of this, and basically David or a person of his staff had a dream of him, of the person who he has healed with his head cut off, laying in bed. And then basically David was like, oh no, we got to get to him. We got to warn him of God's judgment for speaking against David E. Taylor. And then basically like days, like a while later, while the person who has been previously been healed was going back home from the lawyers who was suing David, a truck hit him and he was dead, basically.
I heard that one.
And yeah. Okay, David, where did he die? Where did he die? What's his name? And what year did it happen? He even claimed in the late 1990s that he healed like a freaking mental hospital in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So David, which one? Which one is it? Which one? What's the name of the hospital? What year and what day? What time?
Can we get some facts, please,
And
David?
please, are any of those followers, any of those people still follow you today? Can we have the names of those people you have healed and the witnesses, like the doctors and the security guards? Please, David, make my day. Make my day, David. You fraud.
Did you actually ever sit down and watch the whole deposition? Did you ever take the time to watch the whole thing?
Honestly, I watched pieces of it on your live streams, and I began to like see that he's like this scared little, I don't know, this scared little boy inside the body of a fat elephant seal. So, no.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah.
No, seriously, seriously, like he like on stage, he literally roars like an elephant. So you're like, like saying that he's the general. You should fear me because I am Jesus' best friend, and and if you touch me, God's gonna deal with you harshly, basically. And then I see him in a deposition where the lawyer was just tearing him apart intellectually. And he was like, "Oh no, that's not how it is." like, are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
You're telling me that this so-called general is just like getting slammed for trying to hide and trying to pretend he doesn't know anything, like that level, like. And in my head, it was like he's either really incompetent or very like insidious, basically. So
maybe?
the more evidence, I don't know, maybe his spirit was out of his body at that time, so he couldn't really answer properly. So technically, he was innocent.
So when you went to the Cancer Crusade in 2019, you said you and your friend went, correct?
Yeah.
Did you see any miracles happen?
Honestly, I was praying for like some guy in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
I think something did happen where I guess his body was beginning to like go back in place, but not entirely. But then after that, I didn't really see anything. I don't trust anyone else who claim that they've been healed, because really I don't know who they are. I don't know if they are part of the staff disguising themselves as audience members, or I don't even know if David decided to pay them behind everyone's backs.
Yeah.
I really don't know anything, and I'm not going to question it until further evidence comes forward.
Yeah.
So if any of you in David's call center right now, if you know any information about this and you know it to be true, but still decided to cope and hope, stop it. Stop coping, stop hoping. Admit to yourselves that David is a fake, and the truth will set you free.
Okay, Tony B said she just got off the phone with her bank, can't get the money back. Yeah.
Tony B, I feel bad for you. I really hope you fill out that 211 form.
Holy shit, the walrus just came on and he looks like a fucking bag of smashed assholes. Holy fucking shit. I don't want to play him because I'll get copyrighted. Holy shit.
So
Sorry.
Wait, so
Go ahead.
Wait, so David's on the live stream?
Yeah, he's on live stream right now. I don't want to get it because they'll copyright me. Holy shit.
Oh, screw you, David.
He looks like
Screw you, David.
It's whoa, his hairline. His hairline looks absolute. It's a mess.
Oh, maybe because he was watching our live stream earlier and now he's stressed out. So he knows he's screwed. And David, we have a nasty little surprise for you at the end of the stream. Just keep that in mind. I hope you're wearing a little earpiece hearing everything we're saying so that the stress will make you collapse a little bit.
Dude, he looks like fucking shit, man. He does. I got him up on my iPad. You guys can't see it right here, but I'm watching it and it's like his hair is like curled to one fucking side. He's got like these little fucking Jerry curls fucking streaming down the right side of his fucking forehead. That hairline, it's a fucking sin, man. No, but his live stream that he's on right now, oh man, you should see his hairline.
Oh,
It's out of control tonight, man. It's out of control tonight.
Oh no, yeah, that's the part where David is seething because he knows he's screwed. He knows that a former supporter is now coming out against him, and now he's like, oh, what am I gonna do? This will encourage others.
Right, and here's the thing: what I always said, hey, what's David's get down? What does he thrive over the most? Money.
Money,
Yeah.
because the more, yeah, because yeah, he's a very materialistic, vain person from what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing. Especially that expensive car he was trying to pay off recently.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, you could have used that money to actually be the apostle you were trying to be, but no, you're too much of a self-centered, vain individual to even do that.
He
You
really
couldn't
is.
even put an effort. You couldn't even put an effort to front himself to be that way. But no, honestly, he would have been a better deceiver. But honestly, like, it's too late. Everybody sees the BS that David's hiding, and I'm sure David has been receiving a lot of information. Maybe David got information about me wanting my money back, so now he's stressed. I don't know. People, please put the pressure on David. Continue to continue to weigh in. Like, it looks like it's working. Maybe not, but it's working.
Yeah. It is. I think it is.
Oh,
And what was your
beautiful.
final straw? What was your final straw and stop and say, all right, hold the fuck up. I'm going to stop giving my money to this
Honestly,
piece of
it's
shit.
you. Honestly, it's you.
Okay.
Honestly, it's absolutely you. Like, when I first saw the that video, that live stream you uploaded, what is it, the David E. Taylor residential centers?
Yeah.
And then I saw all those properties. I'm like, dude, I did not sign up for this. I did not sign up for this at all whatsoever. All I wanted to do was to help David go on cancer crusades all around America, and I was hoping, along with my friend, to basically, to see God come down, because we thought that David E. Taylor had it.
Okay.
And now that it's all coming out that he was a fraud, I was like I said, I was incredibly pissed off about it, and and so like, I decided to be as spiteful as I possibly could towards David, like, politically and economically and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because sooner or later he's gonna crack under the pressure. It's only a matter of time. And then, I began filing fraud reports on him to the IRS. And David, happy 141. That's the number of fraud reports I've sent against you.
Star, what's up? So
Happy 141, David.
141 fraud reports. Man, if you guys look at him tonight, he looks like shit. Trip 9. Dude, he does, dude. He looks like absolute dog shit, man. Oh my god, he really does. He's got big dark fuck circles around his eyes. And if you look at him right now, holy shit!
Look at that pig grease on his face, boy.
Dude, he looks so bad. Oh yeah, this is drug use. Drug use, no sleep. Holy shit.
Yes.
Dude.
You know what? I'm gonna look into his live stream later, what he is trying to say. And if he's gonna try to address Cliff, I would love to hear it. Just so Cliff can rebuttal him.
You know what? This is Cliff's interview eating David up. Honestly.
Wonderful.
Yeah. This is what it looks like. Yeah.
I hope this live stream makes it far worse for him.
I think it will, because check it out. This is important. One, you got a badass voice to do it, right? Everybody said to fucking do voiceovers, bro. You could kill it. You could. Second of all, you're a Christian, right? You're a Christian.
Yeah.
You're going there. You have faith. You were going there looking for a real move of God. You got there, found out it was bullshit, and now you're standing up against it. There's nothing more powerful than that. And for you to say, hey, I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. I have this knowledge. And what do we always say? Knowledge is power, right?
Knowledge is power. And you know what? And that power can save your life.
Yep. It really can. Save your life, can save your money, save your relationship. All this, what he's talking about, even though he wasn't in a relationship at the time, right? This type of information could save your relationship right here. I don't know if David E. Taylor drinks. I don't think he drinks. He's doing drugs, though. I know that motherfucker's doing drugs. Based off what Cliff said, that David has people go to the fucking doctor for him.
Oh, oh, dude, I'm gonna have to write down medical fraud on the freaking fraud
Oh
report.
yeah,
You know what?
medical fraud, bro. Yeah, put prescription
Medical
fraud, bro.
fraud,
Prescription fraud, bro.
prescription fraud.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
since
real
I'm in
thing,
front
dude.
of my,
It's a real thing doing prescription fraud like that. Dude, that's where the DEA is going to fucking get involved. And he looks
oh,
like he's
dude,
absolutely on some fucking pills tonight.
oh, sweet.
Yep, Lord Pender. David won't bring up our channels. He won't ever say our channels by name or anything like that because it's like giving power to a demon, right? You would never say a demon's name because you give it power, right? I don't know
Well,
if it's
since we're not demons, what he's afraid of is that we're not demons. We're pretty much people, like exposing him for doing things that are pretty demonic itself. So using the name of Jesus for his own selfish benefit, manipulating young women to to go to be intimate with this fat elfin seal.
this land
It's
walrus.
you
Yeah, Daniela
know
bought
what?
the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I do not. I do not want to know what it's like to be squashed by this fat tub of lard, dude. I swear, man.
Somebody brought up a good point. The reason he's always standing on the podium is because he can't stand up for long.
Oh no, I believe it. I believe
Yeah,
it.
he's
I
very
believe
unhealthy.
yeah, I believe after the live stream, he just gets Tony to carry him back to where he is, and then he has to sit.
They put him on like one of
So,
those fucking like wheelchairs. It's like a chair, right? But it's got the handbrakes on the side, and David just sits down and they wheel him back to the office.
wheel me back to my shutaway.
Guys, I'll take me back to Shutaway, Tony. They'll take me back there now. Yeah, Billy Martin. He doesn't realize there's people out there that know more than they think. Yep.
Oh yeah,
So
my statement.
So you said earlier on in the interview too that they actually FaceTime you and took you for a walk around the mansion.
Yes, yes. Alondra took me around the mansion. Basically, he did. Like he actually did. Like he took me to like the front yard, backyard, the interior that that we know what it looked like. Nothing really changed. Like before, like from before he was introducing the live stream to after they were revealing, like the mansion, like nothing much has changed. So I guess, they were just using it for propaganda.
Yeah. Black Anarchy
Because
React says David's lifestyle and abusing Grubhub.
Grubhub.
Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, that's definitely David. Abusing Grubhub. It should be criminal.
Yeah, he's definitely not living a healthy lifestyle. Now, when you were there in 2019 and you saw him, did he look healthy at all, or was he? I mean, physical stature? Was he stacked like a brick shit house kind of deal, or was he a short little fucking Oompa Loompa?
Well, when we were there in the 2000, I remember my friend and I barely made it to the first night, and basically he was already like professing like judgment against the people who were speaking evil of him.
Yeah.
That is like, and he was pretty much calling out like what Larry Reed and like some other people who were calling him out, like God's gonna judge you.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the audience were like cheering for him. I was like, dude. Looking back now, like, dude, like, what kind of like this dude is unhinged, and to be quite honest, David was preaching well, but like I said, he was using it for his own benefit, and so when Cliff was saying that David likes to study, like, I believe it because he does add Bible quotes that backs up his claims. It's just that he uses it to extract resources for his own benefit against people. Like, I know I'm repeating like a broken record, but like because there's a scripture saying, that it is more blessed to give than to receive. And that's how he kind of uses it to make people tithe a lot of money.
Yeah.
And basically he's making them think that God's going to reward them, like not just on earth, but in heaven too, for doing the works of, for helping supporting the works of the Lord, throughout the whole world, because he's international, right? He's worldwide.
Yep.
Like his as he wants himself to be. So and so when he does that, he does manage to get some people. And honestly, I remember I think that time in 2019 they were announcing like David E. Taylor's birthday gift. I think they were giving him a yacht.
Oh yeah.
At that year.
Yeah. That's real. It's not a yacht, it's a fucking boat, but that boat actually exists and it is a real thing. They did buy that fucking boat for this piece of shit.
Yes. And I was there front row to witness that, dude. You do not know how much it rubbed me off the wrong way, dude. It rubbed me off the wrong way. Trust me.
This is gonna be a dumb question. I'm assuming it rubbed you the wrong way when they took you through the house and kind of showed you around, like, look what we just bought with your money. Like we basically lied to you. We have no intention of using the money for what we said it was for, but hey, look what we just bought and put it in the church's name.
Yeah, and then somehow try to justify, oh, this is God's vision. This is the Lord's vision. You cannot question the face-to-face prophet.
So that's what they would say then.
That's the idea. Like, that's the idea that they would give you, but they don't say it, and they don't say that like out front, but they'll give you that idea. Basically, it's like, sometimes like the messages I hear of David's recording was like, oh, like the Lord put this in my heart to preach to you this thing, and like that, that like you're gonna get your wife and stuff like that, because basically one of the times saying like that like the wife I'm gonna get was gonna be very attached to me, protective of me from like other women and all that stuff, and that David believes that the woman of my dreams was gonna be like blonde haired. And I'm like, okay. And then when I end up hearing that David E. Taylor likes blonde haired women, he kind of gave himself away,
Yeah. Yeah.
He did. Even though I like blonde haired women too, I have a variety, I have a variety of taste in women, but like I'm not the type, I'm not the type who would like go out there and fornicates, but I do and like am trying, to interact and like find the right woman for me, basically. But
and at the
same time,
there's nothing wrong with that, and you shouldn't have to fucking pay for it either. If you have a personality and you're a good person, dude, you already got the fucking voice for it. That's what I'm saying, bro. You already got the voice for it, dude. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised like women aren't throwing themselves at you already, bro. Women would kill to have a dude with your voice, bro. All you got to do is say a few things in that deep voice, be like, ah! Oh, yeah, man. Nah, man, you're a good person, dude, and you got a good heart. We can tell that, and that's the thing. You coming out and speaking against David now, this is huge, dude. Not only one, did you take away a source of income for him, because David doesn't work a fucking regular job. David relies on everybody else to do all the fucking hard work for him so he could live a fucking lavish lifestyle, right? That's what he relies on. And he screwed
up. He screwed up and he overextended too hard. Buying multiple properties in the same year while making like movie prop rentals do your work and not paying them, dude. Like, he must be like, at this point, he's incredibly pretentious and stupid for doing that. And you know what? One of the messages I received, and this is the most pretentious thing I've ever heard in my life. Basically, they were trying to use the scripture on me, saying that how God loves the world, He will send His Son, to spread the gospel, give the message. So David E. Taylor did this thing where he was like, David E. Taylor loves me so much that he decided to send his son, Joshua Taylor, to talk to me saying how much he loves me. I'm like, dude, really? You're trying to put yourself in gospels, like trying to like do this little like, trying to like mirror God in that way, where you send like your own son Joshua as like role playing as Christ or something like that. I don't know, dude. That's like the most pretentious thing I've ever heard in my life, and I literally heard them say that to me.
Lord Pender brought
I'm not joking.
Lord Pender brought up a good point. He's all, do you think when David hits on women, he talks in his gangster voice or his Michael Jackson voice? Black Anarch says, Lord Pender, definitely the Michael Jackson voice. I can definitely see David walking over to him and be like, can I talk to you for a minute? Be like, hey,
Oh
can I talk to you
God.
for a minute?
His voice is his voice is much like brighter than like much lighter than Michael Jackson at this point, mate. I don't know what to I don't know what to make of this guy anymore.
I think even Cliff said in his interview, like when he gets around other people, like around women, and there's no men around, like his voice goes up like 50,000 octaves. It's like, can I talk to you for a minute? It gets like super hyper feminine, dude. That's what Cliff said. Yeah, Cliff said that his voice gets real feminine when he gets around women.
What's wrong with him, dude?
I could imagine that. Like the voice we heard him say in the deposition, I could for real hear David being like, how's everybody doing today? Tito,
like
give me a tissue. Tito, give me a tissue.
like one hand on his hip and the other just like wagging that finger. Oh no, you didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, Lord Pender, his son Josh will take over in 2030 possibly. Yeah, or whenever the walrus goes belly up in Minecraft. Yeah, then. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, dude. Just for David to know, and Joshua, I put your name on the fraud reports too, so nobody's going to be taking over your freaking ministry.
No, that's the point. Yeah, dude, when this thing goes down, you're right, Trip 9. These fraud reports, they have you guys, these are federal reports.
Yeah, federal reports. That's going to pile up, and then it's going to get the federal bureaus of investigation's attention, and then once they read it, they will go out and investigate.
Yep.
And
because
hopefully
honestly,
they will.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will break in when David is not is off guard, just to make it worse for him.
Yeah, and honestly, the feds job is to investigate the government and money crimes and shit like that. Money crimes, human trafficking, drug crimes. That's what the feds do, man. Money crimes especially. The feds don't like it. Yeah, the feds do not like getting fucking scammed, man.
No, they don't.
They do not like getting scammed. Somebody brought up a good point. IRS stands for I remember scammers, man.
I remember scammers.
Yep.
Oh, and they will not forgive. No, they don't. They do not forgive scammers.
No, they don't. They don't. And I was talking with Matthew Moore, and where we think he could probably get in some fucking issues is where he pulled that $30,000 PPP loan. That's going to be a big one. Yeah, that's going to be a big one on there, I think. 30 grand. He pulled it. Now the tax exemption that he pulled it under is revoked. Right?
And yeah.
That's real interesting to me. I wonder how the fuck whenever that gets debunked, how the fuck they're going to peel that one apart.
They're not going to.
There's real financial crimes going on here, though. Really big time.
Yeah, big time.
There is.
We don't even know the full scale. We can only guess that it's in maybe in the millions or tens of millions. But if it's way beyond that, then I don't know, dude. My head is gonna explode. Wondering how on earth he was able to get away with all that money.
I think I was trying to figure out what he could have brought in collectively over the years. And my opinion, this is just where I'm at. I'm in the low 3-figure of the millions range, in the 100 millions. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at now. Collectively, since he's been doing this bullshit. Yep.
Yeah, personally, I would say, a minimum of 10 million, but then
easily 10, bro.
Easily 10 million. He's in the tens of millions for sure. But if he reaches to the $100 million or over, he's screwed. And
with the properties, I mean, if you look at the properties collectively, right? If you had all the properties appraised right now, and say David flat out owned them, which he doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Be good, Dan. Say what? Just think collectively. He's probably got about 30 million in properties right now.
$30 million in properties. Well,
easily.
Well, yeah, and what he thinks he can just buy that other the Boeing campus property. You really think he's going to be able to do that? No, his money's.
There's no way.
His money is drying up, so basically he's going to be forced to borrow more money, and he's going to pay even more interest. And then when that happens, David's going to continue to hound more of his supporters for money, and then his supporters are like, "No, screw you, I'm not doing this anymore." Basically,
I could guarantee
it.
pulling a $40,000 credit card isn't a good way to get a Boeing campus.
Oh yeah, 40,000 out of the tens of millions of dollars he still has to pay.
Yeah,
Good job, David. Good job.
This, I'm gonna buy.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy this $25 million fucking campus, but hey, I gotta pull a $40,000 credit card. Okay, gonna buy this $25 million campus. The church is gonna buy it. Yeah, he's eating 70% of his revenue. Shoot, the Tampa property after remodeling is worth $20 million. Yeah, Billy Martin. Yeah, Billy Martin. He actually worked on that property. Yeah, but yeah, and it's already gained value. That's the thing. Cat Mom, this is 999. Cat Mom, he's telling his story about how he got fooled by David, and he's laying it out for us tonight.
To be dead honest, I did not know David was spending $20 million just to improve the Tampa mansion property, dude. Really? Oh yeah, movie prop rentals is gonna have a field day with David. Hey, why didn't you use that $20 million on us, huh?
Hey, Justice, there's a good interview, and it's about the Ted Gunderson, right? If you guys want to see a good interview, look up the Ted Gunderson interview. It's exactly about what Justice just said. Hit that like and subscribe if you're new here too. By the way, we're talking to Metal Force 999. Yeah, he's one of our subscribers, and he wanted to voice his experience of how David scammed his money out of him, and it's very powerful. It really is. Not only that, Cat Mom, but Trip 9 has got some of his money back. So it makes it even better.
Oh yeah. Trust me, this is not over, David. I'm gonna get all my money back to the last penny, mate. And honestly, like I'm gonna encourage everyone else to get their money back.
Billy Martin, but they're not remodeling it. They're letting it go to shit, dude. They're letting the property down in Florida go to shit, dude. They're not remodeling it. They're not keeping up with it. There's no way they're letting them all go to shit.
And it still baffles me why he still bought that rapper's mansion again. What's that rapper's name again?
Nelly.
Yeah, Nelly's mansion. Why? That thing is not even worth anything anymore. That thing is like an empty shell of what it could have been. And David decided to buy that just for what? For status, to show off or something?
You dude, you're fucking absolutely right. Because you could say, "Oh, look, I have Nelly's mansion. Look, I bought Nelly's place." And like Cliff said, there's been women who have basically fucking blown David off because of like that shit, and David doesn't know how to take it because beyond all the shit that David has, the cars, the mansions, there's nothing to him. He's just a fucking slimy fucking walrus with the wig, you know.
Walrus with the wig. Mm-hmm. And according to Vicky Yowie and all the other women he slept with, a very tiny, puny little pecker.
Yeah, little schmeckle man there.
A little schmeckle man.
Yeah,
you need to use a very. You need a really powerful micro glass just to see that.
Cat Mom has a question. How long did it take for you to get this money back that you got? It was from Apple Pay too. If you want to explain it to her, by all means. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Listen. From Apple, it took me around like a week to do it. Basically, that it was quick. With the bank, it's gonna take probably longer than that, and you're gonna have to sign papers, and you're gonna have to write I guess say documents of why you should get your money back.
Yes.
And honestly, you have to tell them everything. Tell them as much as you can, and if they say and if they only get to say oh, we're sorry that you got scammed by that guy, but we can't get you your money back. I suggest you file your 211 form if you've been scammed by David, because I've been scammed by David, and I am more than happy
Trip 9
to basically contest.
That's what's powerful, is the fact that you can say you've been scammed by him, dude. That's what's powerful. You sitting here saying, yes, I have been scammed by him.
Oh, yeah. I did not even tell you what he does on Facebook and social media, dude.
Tell us.
Dude, the moment you like David Taylor's page or something like that, I believe his members would probably like track you down about it, and they will bombard you with friend requests. And then once you accept it, then they'll probably like stalk you and monitor your Facebook activity. And then if David wants to like reap money out of you, he'll use he'll call you through Facebook Messenger to try to extract money out of you, because Alondre Thomas did do that a couple of times, but I wasn't able to answer his messenger. I usually ignore it sometimes. Also, they'll just bombard you with messages, dude. Especially around the crusade against cancer and One Night with a King. That's when they'll start messaging you and harassing you. From my experience, they did that a lot.
Around the cancer crusade. Yeah, same shit as Scientology. Yep. Yeah, and Scientology.
Yeah.
Scientology is fucking satanic, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Scientology is satanic. We can go into fucking Jack Parsons and L. Ron and Aleister Crowley, and we can go down a whole other fucking rabbit hole with that. But I don't want to, because Scientology is going to go down too eventually. That little piece of shit, Miscavige. He's going to go down in a big fucking way. Yeah, the walrus is live cat, mom, and he looks like absolute shit.
He looks horrible, man. He's probably having these nightmares about Cliff exposing him, so he can't sleep properly. So his wig is messed up.
Well, and the thing is there's a medical condition, and it has to do with like overactive thyroid and shit, dude. And it's like you get delirious and shit, bro. I looked it up. I forget what it's called, but it's a real condition where if you don't take care of it, it's like toxic to your body, dude.
Oh well.
Looks like David. He's talking about an elephant being pregnant for 2 years right now.
Yeah. His typical speech, about birthing the glory of God, right? Yeah, the glory I'm going to birth is much heavier than the rest of y'all, because I've been face to face with Jesus and the Father for 3 years, and I need to carry that glory well. I need to learn and master what they've taught me.
Yeah.
So that when I come out, people's limbs are going to grow back. I'm going to levitate in midair and heal people, and whatever delusion I want to speak out of my mouth. Amen, brothers and sisters. Yes.
Did you ever talk to anybody else besides Alondre Thomas?
Yeah. I've talked to Joshua Taylor at times.
Okay.
I talked to Joshua Taylor more recently. He was trying to find out what I was up to, because he basically figured out that I was pissed, and he was trying to treat me. He's like, oh no, just know that we're sorry for hounding you for money that year. This is not what the ministry is all about. That's not who we are. And we just want to make an apology. And they did admit they were giving a disingenuous apology, just so that I can feel better. They try to calm me down, so that maybe they'll make me so more next time, just not as often.
Yeah,
that's what I think. And then and then I get calls from Joshua all the time, and I just basically lie to him. Basically, he's like, oh, because Joshua's like, oh, I try to call you, but it's it doesn't let me, or I don't see your number. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, it must be some kind of glitch in my on my phone service or something like that BS towards Joshua, because I no longer want to talk to these people, man. So,
and do they still call you?
Well, not as much. And if they do still call me, I block. And honestly, I welcome it. If they call me, and if I find out it's them, I just add their number to the fraud reports. And
nice. Nice.
Yeah, it just makes my job easier. And then I just block them. And then now they cannot contact me anymore. And they cannot contact me through Facebook, because I went through every Facebook friend who is a part of the ministry or who supports the ministry, and then I just straight up block them. So if they get pissed off if at the fact that I so-called betrayed them, they can't do anything. They're just yelling at a brick wall because I'm not going to listen to whatever spiteful nonsense. Oh, you betrayed the ministry. You're more like you're becoming a Judas Iscariot because of money. God's going to kill you someday. You need to repent.
Would they
Something
ever
like that.
would they hit you with tactics like that?
Probably. They might. I don't know. Like personally, they might try a soft approach, and if I'm not barging, they'll probably get rougher and be like, "You need to be rebuked by the Lord. You must repent." And then after that, and if that doesn't work, they'll probably just leave me alone.
Yeah.
They can't do anything to you, and if they try, it sucks. It sucks. There's no substance to their power. If David Taylor really is concerned about the state of my spirit, like, dude, teleport yourself to me, buddy.
Yeah, if you're so
You
concerned.
claim to have these two.
Yeah, it's
teleport yourself.
It's like you're so concerned. If you're so concerned about my spirit, use your X-Men fucking teleporting powers and come fix me.
Yeah, come fix me. Come preach to me. Right into my face. If you can't, like, piss off. Just straight up piss off, David. Yeah.
Black Anarch says,
dude.
David is a whole Satanist. God gonna do to you for calling him out. Yeah. Yep.
You brutal. Yeah, I'm pretty much. David is just. He's just a big fat fraud at this point. I don't know.
When was when was the last time that you gave any type of money to the cult?
To be dead honest, it was around March, and that's it. It was around March. That's it.
So March of this year.
After that, yeah, March of this year. After that, that's it. I cut them off.
Cut them off immediately, huh?
Yeah, cut them off immediately. I was dead. They were pretty much dead to me at this point. I was actually waiting for David to come out of his shutaway to explain himself about the movie Prob Rentals.
Yeah.
And and we all know how that went out. He just blatantly lied, saying that he's the victim of all this. They were misusing my money, that to build the stage and everything. I'm like, dude, you're a freaking liar, dude. And then he decided to exalt himself, saying that he has what, 10 to 15 million TikTok views. Yeah. And then I decided to fact check this guy, and he only has 3.9 to 4 million views.
Yeah,
so
TikTok, yeah. And he's buying his subscribers and views on YouTube.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. That's a spectacular way to make yourself more famous, David. But you'll never get that fame.
Trip, were you actually ever directly involved in the cult? Trip, Cat Mom's asking Trip 9 what convinced you to leave.
Well, I was never really directly involved. I was never into the call centers, but what they did try to do is that they tried to get me to spread the face-to-face book in my area. So what they did is that they said that one of the messages they told me is that that the Lord made me an ambassador to the area I'm living in. So basically, you need, you're more of a prayer warrior and stuff like that, and we would like for you to buy our face-to-face books and spread it to people around. And all I did was spread to this one guy, and basically he wasn't interested in reading the book, so he made his mother read it. And I don't know whether his mother was even interested to read that book or not. So that's pretty much it.
And now, what do you make of all of it?
What do I make of all this, dude? This dude just, all of this was just straight up a waste of my time, dude. I could have done much more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing people aren't going to be able to get back from this piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's time.
Wasting people. Time is more valuable than money. And whatever time you waste, you cannot get back.
Yep.
There's no way. I don't care if there is modern medicine that can make me live 100 years longer. That time I wasted is still pretty valuable. So I'm not letting that slide, David.
Yeah, Black Anarch got a good point. Cults almost always have an outer shell of people who support financially and an inner core of enslaved hostages. Yep. Yep. It's yeah, and you know what we're trying to do? It's people like Trip 9 and people who file fraud against David that are and help break that financial bond that David's got over people. It really is. We're severing his financial means because that's what David needs is money. He's talking
And it's
about
gonna be
he's talking about birthing habits of large animals. Large mammals. He must know what we're talking about or something, bro. He's all they're talking about land mammals. He's all they're talking about sea mammals.
oh yeah, he's trying to exalt himself again. Oh, this supernatural glory I'm trying to birth. I'm spiritually pregnant. Sure, whatever you say, David. Whatever you say, please keep expanding on what you're trying to say, dude. We're just gonna laugh at you in the end of the day.
Yeah, we are, David. We're laughing at you. He looks like shit, man. Holy shit. He looks so bad. He looks so bad. David, how do you even let yourself come on camera like that?
With his long nails and his messed up looking wet,
and
greasy
somebody
hair.
said that it was like that towards the end. It was look at L. Ron Hubbard in the last years of his life, long unkempt hair, long fingernails, clear signs of heavy drug abuse, same shit as David E. Taylor. Long hair, long nails, fucking overweight, fucking, signs of drug abuse. The divine wisdom of Jehovah. Yeah, we're always laughing at David, yeah.
Yeah, David, you are not with God like that, dude. Just stop. Please, just stop.
Now, again, discretionary. Have you maintained your faith since all this happened? Like you still, like you still practice and everything? Like you haven't let this situation lead you astray?
To be dead honest, like I'm just trying to get back up and like read my Bible again. I was still pretty pissed at this time, but honestly, when I kept getting extracted of my hard-earned money, I kept like looking at God. I'm like, why? Because I still thought that David was with God like that, and I was like, why? I know there's like, I believe that there was some kind of bigger picture I'm not seeing, and that's why I continue to do so. But I was still getting salty, and I guess you can say, like letting out some anger.
Yep.
Letting him know that like I'm getting pissed off now. So, like I said, like he'll basically ruin your faith like in God, basically. And my advice to people, don't let toxic people ruin your relationship with God, dude. Like they're very skilled in manipulating you, and they'll always trying to psychologically get you to blame God instead of them. That's just how it is, and that's basically what David's good at, apparently.
So
it happened to me.
He gets you to blame God instead of him.
Yeah, I mean through his actions, yeah. Because David is trying to divert any sort of blame from himself. And then and then people who don't understand the manipulation tactics that David do, they will fall for it. And then David will basically point at you saying, "Oh, you see, you become evil, you become, controlled by the wicked one, and you must repent or else you'll end up like, you'll become a Judas or whatever." And and with me, like I began to turn my anger to David and pretty much towards David for all that money extracting my time. He was pretty much a very negative influence upon my family, because especially towards my mother, because whenever I'm trying to like, I guess, say something about the word of God, she usually asks like, what is that? Did that come from the David E. Taylor Bible or something like that? I'm like, no, Mom, it comes from God's word,
Yeah. So you also had your mom. So it sounds like you have a pretty good, you have a pretty strong theological background with your family. Like your mom definitely is the type to put you in check on like, where's that word coming from? Like, is it coming from the correct place? I'm guessing just the way it sounds, the way your mom checked you, like, yo, where's that coming from?
Yeah, honestly, the reason why like I didn't listen to anyone in my family because because like they did not study the Bible
Mm-hmm.
like that hard because I actually did manage to read the Bible like 3 to 4 times from
Yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah.
And I was also interested in the other ancient writings, so I guess you can say I knew a bit more.
Yeah.
But that was just me being pretentious or being like I guess you can say presumptuous, thinking that I knew everything. And because since David is this great apostle guy, like I was able to like, get through the word of God easier than other people. But that's not the case. So so what I've learned is that, uh who persecute you or something like that, it's not just because of what you're doing in faith. Sometimes it's because of the crap you do that, like I guess you can say there's justified persecution and unjustified persecution.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
a justified persecution is when you're doing messed up things like what David's doing, or even worse, you know. But if you're just spreading, God's word and you're just stating what the word of God said, despite offending a lot of people, like that's an unjustified persecution. Like you don't have to like what someone believes, but the moment you think about like laying your hands on them just because they believe in certain things, then it's going to become a problem. Because there are actual Christians being persecuted for bearing the cross only, like, in Africa, in those, like, communist China definitely goes hard on them. Like,
Yeah. David.
and if you put David,
David doesn't know
and if
what real
David,
persecution is, by the way.
oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, no, he doesn't. He won't know what persecution looks like until he ends up having to, like, run from city to city or survive on whatever the environment provides him. Because they will screw you over just for being a Christian, basically.
Oh yeah, in China, they got Uyghur camps over there where they're fucking. It's forced. What do you? It's how do they call it? Trip Nine, back me up here. It's forced
But
reprogramming. It's like it's like
yeah,
forced indoctrination, man.
yeah, they're trying to destroy the unique culture of the Uyghur people. And
Yep.
since they are mainly Muslim, they're trying to kill off their faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're basically trying to like make them more like Han Chinese like people. I have nothing wrong with Han Chinese people, but I'm just saying that like you don't force a group of people to be like you
Yeah.
just because and what in Mao Zedong, I mean, in Xi Jinping's way of doing things is basically like forcing you to conform to what he wants you to do, and that's what David Taylor does. If you have something that's unique or different that David E. Taylor doesn't like, he will try to cut that off from you, and he will try to probably indoctrinate you.
Yep.
From what I heard, and basically, if I was down there, dude, I don't know, I probably would lose my temper with these people, man, because I would not. I will not subject myself under that kind of control, dude.
I won't
No.
either. I won't either. Ever. Never. And black anarchist brought up a good point. Authoritarianism is the enemy. Oh, there's David's bald spot. Man, I should have froze it right there on his bald spot. Dang it.
Such a glory. You know what? Maybe that's where David is hiding the glory. Maybe.
I think you could be onto it, bro. Like that's where he's hiding the glory. It's in the bald spot, and it's like he's all, hey, when this is where I hide all my money. Okay, see this hole back here?
Because he's got no brain.
Yeah, freedom of thought is the main issue here. You're absolutely right. And Stephen Hassan says it. He's like, you can't really judge these people for believing in what they want. But he's like, the biggest thing in cult mind control and getting people out of a cult is to get these people to think for themselves.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Oh yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Yep. Get them to start thinking for themselves, man. They have to. Have to. That's the only way it will get fixed.
And the only way to break through it is to look into the contradictions that David E. Taylor preaches. Like I said, I've already debunked him being the face-to-face prophet through exposing how he was exposing the gospel of Nicodemus. Like I said, he said that a face-to-face prophet rises every 2,000 years. I even saved the clip of him saying that in the crusade against cancer of 2018. And then you go to, I believe, week 17 of his ancient writings, and that's where he's basically playing the gospel of Nicodemus, and it's pretty much contradicting everything. So
Yeah.
I've kept track of that.
That's what's so powerful, dude. Is like you're keeping track of the bullshit, right? You're keeping track of the biblical bullshit that David's spewing out of his mouth,
Oh yeah,
and that's what
dude,
makes it so
trust me.
powerful. And you guys, I'm not. You guys know I'm not Christian. I don't go to church. You guys are teaching me a lot about it. You know, about how these timelines are matching up. It's and Daniela, I think a lot of we can all agree to disagree. Some people will say, I think people can't see God face to face. It's not biblical. Some people say it is. Some people say it isn't. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
one to sit
yeah.
here
I
and
mean,
say
there,
it's not or it isn't because I don't fucking know, man.
yeah, like yeah, yeah, because honestly, there are, yeah, because there are things like in the last chapter of Deuteronomy saying that like that there will not be a prophet like unto Moses who've seen the Lord face to face.
Yeah.
So there are so there are certain scriptures that does say that God's face, that
Yeah.
Moses has seen the Lord face to face, but
Yeah.
then there are also scriptures that say, no man can see my face and live. And basically from the context I was putting towards that is that, and because sorry. So the context is
You
that
saw the glory hole, didn't you?
the reason why Moses was not able to see like the Father's face is because was because like the blood of Jesus hasn't been shed yet, and now because the blood of Jesus has been shed, the like basically you are clean in the spirit. You can have a relationship with God face to face. Now it sounds beautiful and everything, and I know there's scriptures that I believe that back it up, but I believe David is using that to
His benefit.
manipulate people.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, for his benefit.
Yep. Yeah. Kid
And
Frost
honestly,
says. Kid Frost says appreciate you coming out and speaking 999. Yeah, this is big. This is another huge blow to David. It
thank you.
really is. It really is, dude. It really is
Yeah.
because you have somebody here who's a real Christian who was scammed by somebody who's claiming to be a Christian. Right? This is big.
Yeah.
And the fact that Trip 9 got his money back from David is even bigger, man. It's even
Oh,
bigger,
yeah.
dude. It really is. It really is. Even though it was a small amount of money, it lets us know that the people that we're reporting to are paying attention. Apple Card refunded our guy his money.
Yeah, I don't think Goldman Sachs takes real kindly to David's little scam, so
No, I
they want
don't.
their money.
No, I don't think so either, dude. And that's the thing. The kind of crimes, again, these are wire crimes, dude. These are fucking
Why?
wire crimes. This is wire fraud. They was, oh, we're not committing wire fraud. Oh, well, yeah, you do. When you fucking start doing shit over fucking wires, when you start doing electronically, David, that's called fucking wire crimes, okay? David's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
God told me it's not. Yeah, I had a dream and God said it's not a wire crime, okay?
The Lord has showed me that this is not wire crime. Everything I'm doing is absolutely justified, but when you do it, it's not. So, no.
They won't take a loss. They took it right back from Davy Cakes. That's what I'm thinking. When they took that money back, they took it back from David too.
Yeah, I believe as long as David E. Taylor's receiving money, you can get your money back. But then but
Well, not necessarily. Like say, okay, just say they took that money back from David and say David had $20 in that account. Guess what? They're still going to take that $3 fucking grand, dude. They don't care if there's $20 in that account. Be like overdraft.
overdraft. Yeah, you know what? Pay up, David. Pay
Overdraft fees.
Pay up the overdraft fees, or go to jail. I love it.
And it really is. What you did is a big thing, dude. That's huge, bro. You put them on the map with Apple Pay, dude. Because Apple Pay, dude, it's regardless, dude. It's there. These financial institutions are not going to put up with fucking wire fraud, man. They're not going to.
Oh no, they won't.
No.
Oh no, they
The crimes
won't.
are only going to get.
The
Yeah, they're only going to make the crimes more punishable. Oh, you want to commit wire fraud? Okay, guess what? I think it's.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, like Chris Comp saying, like, dude, Apple Pay doesn't give a shit whether David has $10 or $10,000 in there. They're going to take the money in either way.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Like I said, everybody try to take your money back. And I believe one person was asking how you get my money back. I'll repeat myself again just to let you all know. Yeah, listen, go to your bank and look and ask for go through every transaction you had. Like from the very beginning, whether it's back from 2017, 2016, 15, 14, or 13, go through every single one, every transaction paper, and just find all the money you have donated to David E. Taylor's ministries, you know, and just highlight it, and then basically just file a dispute to every single transaction you've made from way back then. And then if you used PayPal or Zelle or Cash App or anything, then you can dispute that as well. And just and if you have to sign or write more papers or give additional information about why you're doing this, explain as much as you can about David and his little scam, and and they will do what they can to give you your money back. And when you're borrowing from a credit card, I suggest you dispute them as well. From my experience, I know that if you dispute with Apple, they will give you your money back within a week. From my experience, I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen to you too, but it's a fighting chance. Secondly, if you cannot get any of your money back, or if you're not satisfied with the money you get back from the bank, you're practically going to have to fill out the 211 form along with the 13909 form that you send to the IRS. And if you cannot send it by mail, then there is an email for it. Let's see, I can look at it right now.
Yeah, I'll put it in. It's EO class. I'll put it in the EO class at irs.gov. That's what it is.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
And all you gotta do is give it to them, and that's all you gotta do. And then once that happens, the IRS will look into it, and they will basically start investigating David even further.
I guarantee David is going to be hounded by the IRS now. I guarantee he's already being hounded by the IRS.
I wonder how many papers David has to burn to cover his own tracks. I wonder how many papers he's going to have to burn.
Well,
and the thing is,
Billy Martin in here earlier, right? He worked on David's pad, bro. Now check this out. This is what Billy Martin said, right? And this is eyewitness. Billy Martin's an eyewitness to this, okay? He said him and one of his fucking workers watched David didn't David, but it was his cult members toting papers out of that mansion, right? Now, the hospital totes that they put the linen in and shit, right? That roll on wheels. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he said they were fucking dumping bins full of those, full of paperwork into these industrial box truck shredders.
Oh, okay. So basically, he's burning everything, all the transactions that he and his members have with him, and pretty much the money that he's spending over whatever David wants. So he's trying to burn that to the ground.
Chris Con said it, ducking the IRS for years, bro.
David, you're a retard, dude. I found the transactions. I have the info on you based on my transactions with you. You're not burning anything. I mean, you may burn. It may work for a bit, but when we begin to want our money back, we will look for those transactions, and we will be happy to send them to the IRS. And that's what I did.
Oh, so you're actually you're sending your transactions also to the IRS.
Yeah, you see, what David does is that he sends his papers to his members, telling them how much you've given them this year.
Yep.
So that they can thank you, and then they'll basically ask you to sew for more.
Put you on the roll too.
put me on the wall too with that. So what I do is I just took a picture of them, uploaded them on my Word document, and then basically saved it and sent it to the IRS saying my documented proof. There we go. I sold this much money.
And he's not reporting it to the IRS.
Nope. He's not doing jack. I'm reporting everything I could with David, dude. He's done. Like all that money that the IRS is going to look into all that money, all those transaction money that I've been giving to his ministry, and they're like, oh, okay. I'm going to see like how much David's going to give us, you know, and if he's not giving anything, then we're going to just pretty much demand it and break down through your door and force it out of you. So,
Black Anarchic says, if Al Capone could conduct the IRS, why David E. Taylor thinks he can? Yeah. This is what Uncle Rico was made for.
Dude. Yeah, he was made for it. Honestly, like David is at this point, he put himself way too much out there for him to dodge the IRS, dude. He's way out of his league. He's punching way above his weight class. I'm not talking about like physically. I'm just talking about financially and basically politically. He's done.
Yeah, and Justice, I'm not here dogging religion in any way. That's kind of what we're getting at. These guys are fucking scam artists, dude. This has nothing to do with religion or race or fucking what the fuck ever. These guys are scam artists, man. These guys are fucking financial fucking leeches, bro. And you know what? One of them could be fucking leeching off your family member right now, and you might not even fucking know it, dude.
Yeah.
It might not even be it might not even be David. It might be one of these other pieces of shit out there. You got Kenneth Copeland, you got Daniel Adams, you got the fucking Pagani, you got all those assholes out here, all doing the same thing.
Pretending that they are some prophet for America and they're trying to save it. All you got to do is give me a $1,000 seed and you will be blessed for yourself. Can I get an amen, people?
Yeah, I mean, human trafficking, fraud, embezzlement, tax evasion. I absolutely believe David is probably tapped on every one of those several times. Not tapped, but fucking downed them like Davies dozen. Tax evasion, you fucking ain't right. Embezzlement, fucking ain't right. Human trafficking, you fucking ain't right, because human trafficking involves force, fraud, or coercion. Doesn't have to be forced always.
Yeah, and that's a big no-no. All you got to do is just trick people into coming, and then boom, you're a slave to it now.
Yep, that's all you got to do. All you got to do is trick them into coming, and then fuck them over. Guess what? Now you just involved yourself in human trafficking.
David, you're in some serious hot water, dude. I know children are involved.
I know. We know children are involved. We know children are involved.
Yeah, and I'm sure you are trafficking children all around the country, you little... Oh, God. Man.
Call it. Do it. Say it, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't...
You
I don't
predatory parasite,
you know what?
boy.
Yeah. I don't want to so much say it's him, but he's getting the members to do it. He's getting the parents
to do it.
Yes, he's getting... This is how I think he's doing it.
Sneaky.
Yeah, say a parent has like a court order or some shit, right? Okay, here's the thing. If parents actually have kids in this cult, you need to call the fucking police, and you have a court order. Guess what? Call the fucking cops. Show up to that fucking hotel demanding your fucking kids if you got them there. Get them the fuck out, okay? Get your kids out. All you need is your court order. Show up with the fucking cops at that hotel. You want your kids out? That's how you do it. Show up with the court order. Make a scene at the front of that fucking gate. I bet you they won't call the cops.
No, they won't. I bet because they will blow their cover if they do. They know they're screwed. They can't do anything.
No, they can't. Their cover is blown. The whole hotel, that whole hotel is too high profile.
It is, and it's in the middle. It's in the middle of a busy highway. Like people are going to notice.
Yeah,
people are going to.
Well, he thinks people are going to notice his cult hotel. That's what he wants, right? But he actually doesn't want that.
You see, he's contradicting himself. He wants to be known, but he doesn't want to be known.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to be known as, like, this great prophet who is trying to get people to their destinies, but he doesn't want people to know that he's a fake all along, and he just wants to sleep with other men's wives and impregnate young women and have them abort their own babies. So,
Yep. Hey,
and as
Black.
a Christian, that is messed up.
Hey, Black
Yeah.
Anarchic. I have a video on my channel that says that Michelle is grooming. Yeah. No, Michelle. No. You know who's doing the grooming? Black Anarchic is fucking Michelle. That filthy little fucking cult concubine.
Oh, Michelle.
Mm.
You know, she looked a little bit soulless when I saw her in the
She is
2019
soulless.
Crusade against Measure. No, like even though she looked really calm, she looked soulless at the same time. Like,
yeah, Black Anarchic, the most successful cult leaders fly under the radar. Yep. You're right about that.
Well, since David is in the YouTube platform, he will be found out, and since we found him out, more people are going to come out saying David E. Taylor did this, David E. Taylor did that. If all we need is a woman to pretty much testify against David.
Yep.
Especially if David coerced her to sleep with her, basically.
Oh yeah. That's all it will take is for one woman. And if there's women out here listening, you don't got to call me. You don't need to call me. You don't need to talk. That's honestly, you would be better off telling a woman something like that. Not my business. But there are a bunch of women in here, I guarantee, that would love to talk to you and could put you in the right direction. Guaranteed. Yep. David said she has been grooming. And this is a Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell type situation. They've gotten so good.
Yeah.
It's gotten so good. Michelle's probably not, I mean, Michelle's the groomer.
But now you have other women doing the grooming for her. So it's gotten more effective.
Yes, exactly. That's how it was with Ghislaine and Jeff, right? They had gotten so effective that it was the women that were doing the grooming. Where did 999 send the money? JMMI or Koggc?
Both. Like before.
Yeah.
Like before 2021, it was Jmmi. By the time it was 2021, Jmmi was no longer tax exempt.
Yep.
So they ended up having to resort to Koggc. That's their get up. So basically, they just hopped into a different name so that they can continue to receive money without being taxed.
Yeah. Greetings to you. The women are afraid because the pixie has them. The thing is he can't do anything with those pictures. If he did anything, that's blackmail, and it's called revenge porn, and it's a real thing, and get in trouble for it. David can't release any pictures.
And socially, that would destroy people socially. And I'm sure people, decided to, how do I say, end themselves, disappear without a trace. And it's a tragedy. So if David decides to do that, I mean, that's going to be more crime just piling up on David, dude. Yeah,
Keith Rainier is a real fucking type of piece of shit. That motherfucker. I'm glad they put that piece of shit in prison. He's in jail. Keith Rainier was the leader of NXIVM.
Interesting. I never heard of him before, but I'm sure he was sleazy.
Urbano, what the fuck is wrong with his hair? Urbano, we've been trying to figure that out for a long fucking time, brother.
Chronic stress, or just, I don't know.
Shitty genes.
Yeah, I think it's crappy genes, chronic stress.
It's actually a glory hole right here. We call this the glory hole. That's where the glory of David E. Taylor comes in and out of right here. This is his, like, his glory holes.
Supernatural oil coming from his hair. It's so glorious. Don't you love it?
That's where his supernatural glory oil comes from. The leader of Carbon Nation cult is in jail right now because of revenge porn. Yeah, Trip 9, I would recommend you check out, I think it's called The Vow on HBO Max, right? And that's about NXIVM cult. It's really good, dude. What Keith Rainier was having people do, these women were fucking branding themselves, man.
No, that's horrible.
Yeah, no, these women were branding themselves. It was bad. There's also another good one, dude. It's called what was it? La Luz del Mundo. Dude, that one's fucked up. That one's fucked up, dude. That one's about
Mm.
a fucking church down in Mexico, bro. That's dirty, bro. There's also another good one that just came out. The Sound of Freedom, I think, is what it is. Jim Caviezel.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see it. Here's where this is the thing, right? The Sound of Freedom is about child trafficking, right? It's true story. Jim Caviezel wrote it. He just did a interview on Sean Ryan, and I haven't finished the whole thing yet. But I'm thinking like, okay, if the church, if they're talking about human trafficking, right, and it's kind of a religious based movie, I noticed, right? Isn't the church tied
Yeah.
up in a lot of fucking human trafficking? Didn't FLDS just get fucking popped for a bunch of fucking kitty crimes and shit?
Honestly, it's just that people are not keeping their eyes on the church lately. I mean, honestly, listen, like the church is filled with good Christians and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but when they no longer watch out for those type of people infiltrating their churches, it gets pretty ugly and it makes everybody look bad.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what's been happening. And then you have people starting their own ministries with ill intent. They make themselves look good, and then after that, they get to do the dirty, shady nonsense behind the scenes. And honestly, this has to stop. This really needs to stop.
Yeah.
And whenever I see a new church starting up, I am now growing. I now grow more suspicious. And basically, after this experience with David E. Taylor, I no longer trust any church anymore. I'm pretty much on high alert at this point because I don't want to sow another penny to any ministry that has ill intentions behind the scenes.
What do you make of Catherine Crick?
She's psychotic, dude. Her freaking teeth.
Her freaking teeth. Like Mr. Ed, right? It's like fuck. She's like, she does. She reminds me of fucking Cabana Chat from Mad TV. Oh man. Oh shit. She's something else, man. Well, you know what? That's good that you're on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on high alert, dude. And then like when I see Catherine Crick, dude, like she makes like 1,000 different creepy looking like facial expressions, dude. How does she do it?
She's a sociopath.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is. She really needs she needs help. She needs help. And she needs to be apprehended, but most of all, I think she just needs help.
She might be on hallucinogens.
Oh god, that's even worse.
She's
I was wondering if her parents even disciplined her enough not to start a cult of her own. But
I don't think her parents ever disciplined her, bro. That's why she's off the fucking charts, bro. I don't think her parents ever told her she was wrong. Like her parents told her she was always right. She's been fed off a fucking silver spoon. Always had money in her bank account. Never really had to work a real job. Like seeing her unbox her book, right? Seeing her unbox her book the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, she's like, "I'm an author now? Wow!" It's like, no, bitch, you just had somebody write you a bullshit book.
Oh god.
We'll go start wrapping it up, Trip 9. Dude, it's been an absolute privilege listening to you talk tonight, man. It really has, dude. It really has. And you know what? Your testimony here tonight is going to open a lot of people's ears about how a scam works. It really is. It really is.
I really hope it does.
It really is.
And I hope this thank you. And I really hope this prevents anybody who thinks about supporting this guy from, from financial means. Just don't. Please keep your wallet to yourselves. And find the right ministry who that isn't going to scam you. If your pastor acts suspiciously in any certain way with money, then just give it a red flag and just keep an eye on that pastor.
Absolutely, yeah. Keep an eye on them. Test the fruits, as Jesus said. Test their fruits, right?
Test their fruits. Test their character. see if if they're gonna like treat the like especially the women and children if he's getting too close to the women and children or just doing something shady, please keep an eye on that person. And and if you find anything shady going on, and if it's illegal, report it to the police for your sake, for the sake of others.
And you said right now what you're doing after all this is you're just going back to reading your Bible. You're going back to the basics right now.
Yeah, it's good to go back to the basics. And whenever I see people preach in the gospel, I may be cheering for them, but I just cannot trust them because I don't know them anymore. I don't know who they are, personally. So I cannot say, I cannot know whether I should, sow my money into their ministries at all. And when you and when you go through what I go through, it really kind of messes with your head. If the people you're supporting are legitimate and they are kind and they are trying to spread the gospel and feed the poor and all that stuff, go ahead and sow and basically help them. Especially if it's for the homeless and the veterans, they really need that.
Even better, you can donate better. That's money, better than money. Trip 9 hit it on the head earlier. What's more valuable than money, Trip 9?
Time.
Yep.
I believe it's time.
Yep. Go donate your time. If you donate your time to your church and they're cool with it, guess what? You're at the right church, probably. Go donate your time to your church. Yeah. Go mow their lawn. If they need help, hey, we're going out to do this. Hey, I'll donate my time. Time, man. Giving somebody your time is more valuable.
Indeed. That's what we can learn from all of this.
Yep. This time we took here tonight with Trip 9 listening. You know how valuable this is? You can't pay for this information. This is invaluable information. Because we're teaching people here. Trip 9 is teaching people through his experience how this piece of shit scammed him. Guess what? This is another blow to David. It's another big blow to David. It's gonna be. This is pissing David off right now. This is Cliff, this is gonna open up a lot of people's ears, man. I'm telling you. I guarantee more interviews are gonna come eventually, guys. When people are ready. And I saw there was a comment that said it was about Cliff not speaking up sooner. And we have to remember, we can't force these people to speak, you guys.
We can't force them.
Nope. Nope. I couldn't force Cliff to speak. Cliff came to us, you guys. Cliff came to us. I didn't know where the hell Cliff was. I didn't even know how to contact the guy. He came to us, guys. He came to us because he was ready. That's it.
Yep.
I couldn't force Trip 9 to speak. He had to be ready to speak. I had numerous conversations with him about this. Even prior to getting on the phone, he's all, dude, I'm nervous. I was like, that means you got it, dude. You're fine. You're nervous because you know what you got to say. And he did. He laid it out. You laid it out perfect, dude. How the scam works, how he gets into it, your process, where you're at. No, and this is what's so beautiful about it is 999's getting his money back. Fucking love it,
oh,
dude.
Sweet money, baby.
Dude, 999 is getting his money back. That's what makes this stream so rad. So Trip 9, yeah, dude, go spend a little bit of your money back, bro. Go buy yourself something nice.
I will.
Go buy yourself like a nice ass pair of kicks or something, bro. Go buy yourself like a badass pair of fucking Nikes or something, Something nice.
You know what? I think I'm going to save up for a good car, my very first car, and I'm going to make sure it's a beauty. That's what I'm going to do. And you know what? It may not be a Rolls Royce that David scammed people to buy, but you know what? It's honest money, and that's more valuable than whatever nonsense David decides to buy himself.
I agree.
So, yeah.
I agree. Any last words, Trip 9, for the group tonight, man? For the world?
You know what? Thank you for listening. Thank you for being. Thank you for considering. And I really hope you have a great night and or a great day if you're watching this in the daytime. And I really hope you learn to be considerate of what you are doing with your time and money when you are introduced to any ministry or any religious organization you are planning to join. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for your time, Triple Nine. We love you, dude, and you've been a great asset to the channel, man. And we're here for you, dude, anytime, man. And can you do one more time, David? I am your father.
All right, David, I am your father.
We love you, dude. All right, bro. We'll let you get going. Trip 9 on out, man.
All right.
All right. Be good,
All
Triple
right.
9.
Peace out.
All right, guys. Have a good
All right,
night,
you
man.
too.
Bye.
Good night.
Trip 9 on out. Triple 9. Thank you for the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Triple 9. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, thanks to Triple 9, now we have another insight to how this cult fucks people over. Right? Huge insight, guys. Huge insight tonight. This is just a small amount of what people have given to this piece of shit. With that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Chris Com, we'll get you on tomorrow night, brother. For sure. We'll have fun tomorrow night, man. We'll do our live stream. I'm sorry, Chris. I wanted to let Trip 9 talk tonight, but we'll get Chris Com on tomorrow night. Maybe we'll do a fucking StreamYard sucks though, man. It's fucking ridiculous. The power of Mia Quaco. Yeah. Yeah. So anybody that's deciding to give money to David, just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. He doesn't have your best intentions in his mind. He's gonna blow the money and screw everybody over in the process. So again, Triple 9, thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for educating us about how David scams people, man. It's always something with David. Gimme, 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 gimme. But I'm not going to give you back. It's always David's motto. Yeah, it's always better to give than receive, brother. Y'all have a good evening. See you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central on David E. Taylor Full Frontal Exposure 2.0, where everybody's opinion is a lie. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe on the way in or out, you guys. Have a good evening.